You were listening to ChartingWealth.com for Thursday, the 13th of August, 2015. This is the training and trends for ChartingWealth.com. Yesterday we looked at gold. We're back to looking at gold again. We were talking about whether or not gold would cross on the 2-day MACD. We're looking at a 2-day chart. Those of you who are listening by audio, you can just follow along. I'll explain what we're seeing. We're seeing two candles, which represent, of course, 4 days. Yesterday, when I say yesterday, I mean since I'm recording this on Wednesday night for Thursday, would have been Tuesday night. We saw at the end of the day it had not yet crossed over going up on the MACD for the 2-day chart. It did today. It was well on its way yesterday. We've drawn a 2-day trend line. We also saw something that's extremely important when they happen together. We saw the MACD on the 2-day chart cross going up along with the derivative oscillator. So we now have a confirmed up move in gold after many, many days down at the bottom, where it bottomed out pretty much on the 23rd of July and has hung around that bottom waiting to move up. The Bollinger Bands have expanded to allow that up move. It has crossed through the 30 and the 34 period moving linear regression lines, and it looks like gold is on its way moving up. It was actually up 1.40% for the day. If we look at the 2-day chart, the 4-hour chart, the half-day chart, what do we see? We see a continued big up movement since the 27th. Now, we had heretofore the 2-day trend line drawn on the down move. When that was breached and you had seen the crossover on the MACD, that was a possible get-in point somewhere back around the 31st or so of July, the 3rd of August, somewhere in there. Any of those points would have been wonderful to get in now that it is accelerating up. That is where we are. So again, pay attention when you see us talking about things over many periods, many periods about where gold had bottomed out and its attempt to start moving up. You always want to look for purchase points somewhere in there, but you do have now a great trend line crossing over going up. And you can see that gold, when it crosses strong, usually holds that. We can see over and over again where that happens, but again, in the summertime trading zones, it can be extremely tough. Now, let's go ahead and move to the rest of our charts. Let's look at IYY on the 2-day chart. What do we see here? Well, we drew a 2-day trend line back starting on the 6th of August, and we continue to see that playing out. It has moved back over. The market was jiggling around on us over several days. It moved up on the 29th of July, then down on the 4th or so, then back up around the 6th, and then back down around the 10th. We're in a confirmed down move now with the derivative oscillator moving down. And what is interesting about this candle, another little teaching moment, whenever you see large wicks down, you can tell that the bears were able to drive the market way down, but the bulls had enough power to push it up. So just keep that in mind when you see long wicks on the bottom, as you see on the latest 2-day candle. Let's look quickly. So that's a confirmed down move. See about the 4-hour chart, and of course it crossed over around the morning session of the 11th of August. Ended the day today in the afternoon with an up movement, but again, the market overall was up for IYY just a mere 0.03% for the day. Again, the market is at a confirmed down move on both the charts, the 4-hour and the 2-day chart. Let's look quickly now. We'll range back out to the 2-day chart. We'll go to SPY. We can see that SPY, we've got 3 candles connected on a down move, just crossing over on the 2-day chart. If we click over to the 4-hour chart, what do we see? We see that it again also around the morning of the 11th or so of August confirmed down move on the 2-day chart. And we talked about this before. Where was that buy-in point? Well, when you have a 2-day trend line and you have a bump up on a half-day candle and then it moved back down somewhere along exactly those lines where you had that crossover going down is typically a good place to look to buy in if possible. And again, we're talking about virtual trades here because we don't give advice using real money. We're an education company. We are not a stock calling company. We don't make any promises at all about any kind of profits in the market. We simply talk about training, learning to trade, and then you can go off on your own, make your own decisions, and make lots of money. And you can thank us. Okay, let's move back to the 2-day chart. And we're going to go finally to the Qs. We also see the Qs confirmed down move, crossed over around the 10th going into the 11th or so, into the latest set of candles, confirmed down move, almost have 3 candles connected. And what do we see there? Well, the derivative oscillator crossed over about the same time. That's a nice strong pattern for us, same time that the MACD crossed over going down. And if we look at the 4-hour chart, what do we see? Well, we see the same kind of setup where the 4-hour chart had moved over going down way back on the 6th of August, had popped up, hit the 2-day trend line, and then moved back down through it. Good buy-in point sometime around noon or so, or morning hours of the 11th of August, and then you've seen those confirmed down moves. What is interesting is the way the day ended today with a spinning top, showing a fair bit of indecision at the close of the market. Technically, the Qs was up 0.35%, S&P 500 up 0.12%, and the IYY up a mere 0.03%. So again, very, very small up movements for the day in confirmed down moves on both the long chart, the 2-day, and the 4-hour. Folks, that's where we are ending the day on Wednesday, going into Thursday the 13th. Hope you've had a great week of trading. May have been doing well with your virtual trades in gold going up, in the Qs or the SPY going down. Of course, that would be an inverse trade if you were going to buy an inverse ETF. Thanks so much for listening. Join us at chartingwealth.com. Sign up for our newsletter. Get our training there. And also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks so much. Wish you the best. God bless from chartingwealth.com.